Good evening, and hope you're having a good day. And we are back with Sonic once again. I can never escape it for very long. So yeah, I've been messing around with 3DS emulation again because I haven't had much of a chance to do it on this laptop yet. And we're playing Sonic Generations, and no piracy involved. This is running from my actual game cartridge because current 3DS emulation has a really cool feature where you can essentially connect your 3DS to the emulator and play your actual copy of the game. In fact, the system you're using differs to the one previously used to connect to the internet. Let's not erase that stuff, but I will erase other stuff. I backed up my save file, so deleting the story mode save file shouldn't be much of an issue. Now, loading times are going to be worse than on actual hardware or running the ROM straight on here, but I just think it's really cool that you can you know, use your actual copy of the game. In fact, I might be able to see Street Pass. Oh, okay, Street Pass doesn't carry over. Never mind. I can show my profile card. Actually, no, Street Pass wouldn't be there because I've hold on. Sonic Fan 20. Oh yeah, because yeah, you say since whatever year. I was like, oh, I was probably like 3 years old or something. Right, title Sonic 3. This is a feature completely unique to the 3DS version, and it's like to do with Street Pass and online. Because this game actually has a multiplayer mode, which we're not going to be able to see because online's dead. There's a lot of these I haven't unlocked. 2 different ones in Sonic Colors. Something for Episode 1. Something like that. Now, I can't remember how you unlock these. Ride to Zero Gravity? Hey, I've played that game now, so I actually understand it. The picture. I mean, not that I didn't understand what it was, but I hadn't played it when I last played this game. Anyways, we're going to be deleting the story mode data so I can start the story again. Not that the story's really any different from the console game, but So yeah, this is Sonic Generations on 3DS. It's a pretty different game. It's mostly different levels, and it's a bit shorter overall as well. Right. I was going to go straight to play game, but like the console game, it does start you in Green Hill, and it starts you without any cutscenes or anything. Again, just like the console game. Let's move this a bit closer so that I'm more in frame, and so I can see it better as well. And we're playing with original 3DS resolution as well. I don't know, older 3D stuff, like low resolution 3D stuff, like below 480p. I prefer presenting at its original resolution. Right, I'm gonna also disclaimer. There may be some input latency just due to the method of sort of essentially streaming the game from the console, like the game data from the console to the emulator, so I may end up missing some jumps and whatnot. But yeah, if you played Sonic 1, or seen me play Sonic 1 for that matter, you might recognise this level design. Yeah, so for the Mega Drive era games, for the classic games, Act 1 of each level, the level design's directly taken from the original game, which I don't know, I just kind of find funny. Johnning and Advance. So yeah, this level design here is exactly Green Hill Act 1 from Sonic 1. Yeah, Close Sonic is pretty much as you expect. Run, jump, roll, spin dash. And his physics, honestly, they're a little bit more like closer to classic Sonic physics than in the actual console game. I was slow there, so I got B rank because I was showing stuff off. So yeah, I feel like, especially these days, 3DS version Generations isn't really talked about much. And yeah, I think most of the 3DS Sonic games in general aren't really talked about that much either. I'd say this is probably the best of the lot, which kind of just meant things went downhill from here, but hey. It's nothing outstanding, this version of Generations, I don't think, but it's a perfectly serviceable Sonic game, especially given that the developers had, like, not much time to make it, apparently. Story-wise, though, it's pretty much exactly the same as the console game. You know, it's Sonic's birthday. Oh, okay, it's slightly different here, actually. So, in the console game, the party's already started and Sonic arrives, like, barely after they've set everything up. Here he's actually early, and as a result of being early, I forgot about this, actually, but now we're seeing it, it's jogged my memory. As a result of being early, none of his friends are here other than Tails. And yeah, that's true of the whole game. Much like Sonic Colors, this is Sonic and Tails only, in terms of the protagonists. In a way, it's kind of the opposite of Sonic Colors, where the console game had only Sonic and Tails, and then the handheld game had this entire supporting cast. But then, here, the supporting cast in the console game, and only Sonic and Tails are in the 3DS game. But hey, he's got an early birthday present. But either way, the Time Eater has come to crash the party. Cutscenes are a lot lower budget here. They're like the DS games, you know, dialogue with character models. Well, they are animated character models this time, I suppose. Rather than just 2D sprites, but it's still definitely lower budget than the console game. And in another cost-cutting, I guess, or development time-cutting measure, once it loads. As I was saying, load times are going to be worse than actual hardware or playing straight from the ROM. I don't need to display in-game help. Yeah, this version of the game doesn't have a hub world, it just has a level select screen. And I see that erasing my story mode data hasn't reset my life counter. That was at 69 before. I remember that from when I did some test setup and recordings. Right, on to Act 2. So because this is a 3DS game, modern Sonic gameplay is a bit different. It's more like Rush. It's entirely 2D gameplay-wise. And the boost meter works a bit like Rush as well. Where if you fill it up, it temporarily gives you an unlimited boost for a little while. No trick system though. So, you know, Sonic doesn't deafen you with loads of voice clips, unfortunately. But it is modern Sonic otherwise. Well, Boost Sonic, you got the boost, you got the homing attack, you got the air dash. You got rail grinding. All the modern Sonic stuff you would come to expect. Oh, and you got some camera angles as well. Here you get the slide, which is a bit awkward in here because you've got to press down and jump, rather than just the right hand face button. Hit that totem pole and get a nice little shortcut here. But they do their best to have a few set pieces as well that show off the 3D a little bit. Yeah, the 3D in this game, when you're on an actual 3DS, is decent. Nothing like spectacular in terms of like in-your-face 3D stuff, but it's pretty alright. Yeah, I'm not going to be going for like amazing ranks on this playthrough. The levels can be pretty short to start with, especially. So, yeah. I'll run out. I'll finish the level before I finish talking about them. Otherwise, but yeah. Some of the lines of dialogue are pretty much taken straight from the console version. Well, from the original 2011 version. These lines have been rewritten in the remaster with Shadow Generations. Floating without a body in a dark void. I'm gonna have nightmares about this for weeks. Yeah, does this place seem more familiar? Not to me. Oh, they didn't localize color properly. This is a proper UK copy of the game.
Hey! Sonic.
Yeah. It's nighttime and a giant mushroom.
I got this.
And we still get classic Sonic showing up, and yeah, we weren't kidding when you said soon. And classic still doesn't talk, because you know it's classic Sonic. Let's press A. So, and in another departure from the console game, we have special stages for Chaos Emeralds. In the HD game, you get Chaos Emeralds from boss fights, and you get the last one for beating all the levels. Here, you got special stages. And if you play Sonic Heroes, these are going to look pretty familiar. Or again, if you've watched me play Sonic Heroes, they're going to look familiar. Really need to figure out how to pad out these loading screens. Yeah, these look pretty good in 3D, I'd say, from what I remember. It's been a little while since I played one. Yeah, these are basically pretty much the same as the Sonic Heroes ones, except they control properly. Because it's hard to distinguish the orbs on the bigger screen. It's the same resolution as it always has been, but it's on a bigger screen, so the pixels are chunkier. But like I said, I like to represent low-resolution games in their original resolution, as you saw when I did the DS Sonic games, when I did Rayman 2. I mean, that one I went as authentic as I could by playing on the PS2, which is the closest thing I have to PS1 hardware. Like 480p and above, I'm fine upscaling those to HD, but I don't know. I feel like 240p games, I like to keep them at 240. But yeah. These special stages, you should never really have a problem holding the boost the whole way through. They're pretty easy. And I do remember, when people were playing this online, you always had, like, it was like a 1v1 race through whatever level you selected. People would choose that special stage so many times, and with that special stage, because it's the first one and it's easy, it just became a race of who can press Y button quicker than the other. But yeah, we now have our next levels: Casino Night from Sonic 2 and Mushroom Hill from Sonic & Knuckles. Yep, after Green Hill, the levels are all different from the HD version. We're going to go in order, because why not? So yeah, they're completely different levels. Now, one thing that's always been said about this game is it's a shame that it doesn't take from the handheld games. Apart with one and a half exceptions. Yeah, this is pretty much console game. Loading. Yeah, it's pretty much based on console Sonic games. So yeah, you got Casino Night from Sonic 2 on the Mega Drive. Yeah, nothing from Sonic 2 on the Game Gear. Hold on. Yeah. I know Casino Night's level layout. Whoops. So yeah, like I said, the level layout is pretty much exactly 1-to-1 with the original, just brought into 2.5D. And because of that, it does mean Green Hill Act 1, Casino Night Act 1, and Mushroom Hill Act 1. They are all very good Sonic level design because, you know, they're from the originals. Come on. Oh, come on. If I remember right, can you roll to gain height on half-pipes like this? Not really. I mean, it's better than Sonic 4 where you'd actually lose momentum, but... Okay. I think these things just give you rings instead of points because the score isn't really a thing. There's a 1-up in there, I want the 1-up. Oh, come on. Give me the 1-up. There we go. Was that worth it? Probably not. No. Alright. I'd say Casino Night probably suffers the most from having different physics from the original now. Because obviously the bouncy pinball casino levels are very much designed with the original physics in mind, and much as these physics are fine, they're not the original. But they're fine. As in some ways it feels more like the Mega Drive games than HD generations did. Wow, a D rank. Yeah, S ranks in this game are pretty much based on time, much like the console game. When you play it like classic Sonic and you actually do a little bit of exploring and whatnot, yeah, the rank doesn't, you don't get a good rank. On my actual save file, I have S ranked all these levels. Because, you know, it was the early days of the 3DS, there wasn't much to play. But I'm trying to think when I got this. Probably early 2012, and I got it like second-hand in a game. Yeah, back when you could actually get games at game. Oh. So yeah, oh. The music is doing something weird. I wanted to highlight the music because this is like the remix of Casino Night here, which we saw in the opening of the stream, is one of my favourite pieces from Generations. This big band arrangement of Casino Night Zone. It sounds great. I love it, but the emulation's deciding to go a bit weird on it. Oh yeah, there's a wall jump in this game as well. I completely forgot about that. I wonder if there's an emulation setting I could tweak. Configure audio. Try that option. Oh, roulettes. You can get rings based on where you land, but really what you want to do is jump when it tells you to jump, and so you can actually leave this. There we go. Nope. Let me off. Thank you. Oh, what's going on with the sound in that stage? I've had some like pauses in other stages, but like that was like completely skipping it weirdly. How if I enable audio stretching as well? Maybe that'll help. Other stages seemed okay, so.
Hi. Hey there.
Okay, this dialogue's obviously original.
Here goes.
Yeah, the story was already not much of a priority in the original. I'd say it's even less here. It doesn't really matter though. Sonic Generations is a game for the gameplay and the callbacks. Not really. The story's not really important to it. Which is why I still find it kind of funny how mad some people got at the rewrites in the remastered version. It's like, oh no. The game that was all about nostalgic callbacks has more callbacks in its dialogue. Also, it'll be interesting to see how much of this game is still muscle memory for me, because I haven't played it properly in quite some time. But I played it a lot back when it was newer. Because, well, like I said, early days of the 3DS, there weren't much to play. I mean, the game I got at launch was Rayman 3D, so, I mean, you know, we all live with our choices. Well, hey, with a modded new 3DS, Rayman 3D plays, like, properly. It's still buggy, but, hey, the performance is good at least. We nearly got the emerald. There we go. Chaos Emeralds are pretty easy to get S ranks in. It's pretty much start boosting as soon as you hit the first lot of orbs and then just don't stop boosting. That's Casino Night. And on to Mushroom Hill. So Mushroom Hill is a fun, like a little amusing little quirk at the end of Act 1 as an artifact of the level design being completely one-to-one with the original. Oh, no, I want to go through the loop, not on top of it. Yeah, so one criticism that is kind of like brought to 3DS Sonic Generations is there's a fair few first levels in it. Granted, not everything is a first level, but there are a decent chunk of first levels. And while, well, in like, you know, nowadays where I'd say a lot of people would consider Sonic 3 and Knuckles one game as it should be, this is still the first level of Sonic and Knuckles. You know, like difficulty-wise, it was rebalanced to be a first level when they split. Yeah, I presumably rebalanced anyway to be a first level when they split Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. Oh yeah, yeah. Any places where the special stage rings were before, yeah, now a circle of rings. Little nod to the original design. Well, obviously the whole thing's a nod to the original. Okay, so we're going this way. I do like how Mushroom Hill looks here though. Like the light coming, the sort of light coming through the canopy essentially. Like the light shafts. Oh, okay, I can't go up there from here. Yeah, like I wouldn't say it's like among the best looking 3DS games, but yeah, it looks pretty decent. You know. One up. Because I'm playing this like classic Sonic, so I'm gonna get a bad rank at the end again. Thing is, I have classic Sonic level design and vaguely classic Sonic physics, so I'm gonna want to play like it's classic Sonic. Right, so we're near the end of the act. So take note. Checkpoint. End of the level. Obviously in Sonic 3, there was a boss fight there, but that's obviously not replicated here. So it's the checkpoint like 2 seconds before the end. You know, just in case you might die before the end. Right, Mushroom Hill Act 2. I remember this one being pretty fun. And this one's based on the autumn aesthetic of Act 2 in the original game as well, which is a nice touch. Well, okay, the original went through like a few seasons in Act 2, but it spent most of its time in autumn. So that's what this level spends its time in. I do like the orange here. It looks nice. If you played Sonic Dash, this remix of Mushroom Hill will be familiar. Because, yeah, Sonic Dash's rendition of Mushroom Hill is taken from this. Oh. Missed the upper root twice. I guess we're going this way. Oh, I'm trying to stomp, but I think you have to, like, unlock it first or something. I think you have to unlock the stomp for some reason in this game. I'm not entirely sure why they decided that decision, but hey. Oh, when it's good to jump off? Now, probably. I know there was a point where jumping and then boosting is risky. It's the rainbow ring there. I guess boosting over that spring that's the risky bit. I've died a few times to boosting over that spring accidentally. Fully automated grind rail, but hey, it's 3D. I mean, it wouldn't be modern Sonic. Well, it wouldn't be Sonic without set pieces, but so you know.
Sonic.
They have cutscenes after every level here talking about the level.
Huh?
If this is a more recent game, you know, I've actually said something about the level other than just these mushrooms. Alright. Special stage time. Also, yeah, I've not really done anything special with the layout for 3DS stuff. I feel like with 3DS, most games have the main gameplay take place on the top screen with just supplemental stuff on the bottom. Because I don't want to completely not show the bottom screen. But it's like, I haven't done any of the fancy like overlays or switching stuff like I have for my DS layouts. Which honestly, I need to like check is still working. Because I haven't used them on this laptop yet, and I feel like some of the transitions may not have survived when I moved OBS stuff from my old laptop to this one. Yeah, I can't help but thinking that maybe as well as being on a smaller screen, maybe the 3D helped this one. Like maybe having the 3D actually helped gameplay-wise to be able to discern the orbs from the walls. Well, that's probably another S rank. Given that I didn't stop boosting. Yep, there we go. Right, boss time. So our rival fight, so actually all against the same characters this time. Oh. Okay, this cutscene takes place now. Okay.
Why, hello, everyone.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just dialogue and this music. The scene's a lot less dramatic.
Very good.
So yeah, we have the same rival fights as before. So we're going to fight Metal Sonic now, but I say fight. The rival fights have been turned into races rather than fights. And yeah, they take place in the existing levels rather than in their own levels. Well, see, with Metal Sonic, it kind of works, you know, being a race, because that's what you did in Sonic CD. So here it works as a callback. But the other rivals, Shadow and Silver, I mean, you fought them in there, you know, when you faced off against them in their original games. You didn't race them. Wait. Alright. Well, beating Metal Sonic is basically just a case of trying to stay on the top path, which I've done a pretty bad job of so far, so, you know. Ow. Can't go through those. I lost. Yeah, the remix they made for Generations is great. Using the console version too, and sort of remixing Sonic 4 Episode 2 when you race him near the end of that game. The Stardust Speedway remix there is pretty blatantly based off the Generations version. Not that I've streamed Sonic 4 Episode 2, so you know, if you haven't played it, you're not gonna really know. Alright. Alright. Up here. Yeah, trying to fall down there. Oh. He just blasted all the way through that. Rude. Right, get up here this time. There we go. Come up, there we go. See, all the rival fights are like that. They're races this time. I guess it was quicker and easier to, you know, to design and develop. More importantly, it was probably quicker. As I keep saying, they apparently had very little time to make this game. So the console of Sonic Generations pretty much makes very few references to Sonic 3, as does this, apart from we get to fight Big Arm, which at the time, other than this game, you could only fight it either as Knuckles in Knuckles campaign, or Sonic 3 and Knuckles, or by playing standalone Sonic 3. Because originally, when you lock on Sonic 3 to Sonic and Knuckles, you don't fight this anymore. And the remix of this boss fight theme here is really good. Oh, I got 2 hits there. Yeah, this remix is amazing. We're probably not going to hear much of it though, because, you know, this is the first boss, so It's pretty easy. If I remember, I'll link to it later. I remember one of the criticisms of Sonic Generations, both console and handheld, was like, oh, they made Death Egg Robot and Big Arm too easy. Like, they're the first bosses, come on. Ow. Whoops. You know, they're not going to make the first bosses as hard as, you know, the final bosses. I mean, I messed up, but, yeah, that's me. That's on me, that's not, you know. Ow. I forgot that when he hits you, the stage rotates. Oh, yeah, they got to show off that it's 3D. Oh! Come on. There we go. Got him. That's gonna be a bad rank. Yeah, B. Not the best. Not the worst either. Not like the original. Classic Eggman gets taken away by the Time Eater. I feel like it's not really a spoiler to say that, especially given I've streamed Sonic Generations twice before. I don't really think anything of the story could be as much of a spoiler here. This line's taken straight from the console version. We're traveling through time and space. How did this happen? Yep. Exact dialogue from the console game.
Be careful, Sonic!
See, at least the Time Eater doesn't destroy our eardrums when he appears in cutscenes, like on the console version.
Huh?
If you remember. The sound mixing of those cutscenes has always been a bit...
I got this.
In case you can't tell, he's homing attacking these enemies. In case you couldn't tell from the very basic production values. So here comes one of the biggest differences, and was a bit controversial when the game came out. Classic Sonic gets taught the homing attack in the middle of the game.
Oh,
And also, you get to use the... Classic Sonic gets the homing attack added to his arsenal for the rest of the game. I do find it funny how Modern Sonic's like, oh, it might be fun to go back and see if there's any new places you can get to with the homing attack. And it's like, well, these levels were made before the homing attack was a thing. There's not really anything else to find but the homing attack that you couldn't already find normally. Anyways, here we got our Dreamcast era stages, and calling it the Dreamcast era is more accurate this time because there are only 2 stages rather than 3 in this era. Just Emerald Coast and Radical Highway. Radical Highway has been in Sonic Generations all along. But we're going to do Emerald Coast first because, well, it is first. They definitely designed it with the homing attack in mind back in the 90s. I mean, the homing attack is older than Sonic Adventure. It sort of debuted in Sonic 3D, Flicky's Island, if you got the gold shield, where it was called the Supersonic Blast Attack. And you could only use it while you were holding a gold shield. But it was basically the homing attack. Do you like Radical Highway? I love Radical Highway. Anyways, here we got Emerald Coast from Sonic Adventure, along with remixes of the Emerald Coast themes. I say remixes, it's basically just Junsanoi re-recording the lead guitar for these tracks. Re-recording the lead for these tracks with like a live guitar like playing. And it sounds great. Emerald Coast's theme is already like one of my absolute favourite Sonic tracks of all time. So it's great to hear this rendition. Oh, you know what, let's see if I can go up to the... Yeah, we've even got like the big like multi sort of layered loops as well from the original. And the Orca Chase is actually gameplay because you got platforming to do. It's not just holding a direction. This probably killed me a lot back when I first played it. Come on, let me up. I'm glad Sonic actually gets shields in throughout his level design as well. I do like how this level is basically a 2D adaptation of Emerald Coast's level design. Obviously it's got its own like bits throughout, but you can clearly tell there are a lot of homages to the original level design, which I like. Even got these jump pads as well. Jump on panel number 1. It will take you to panels 2 and 3. Remember to jump when you land on a panel, or else you'll fall. I'm paraphrasing by the end there, but I've heard that hint dialogue a lot. Oh, and this guitar solo, this is only in the original soundtrack version of Emerald Coast's theme. It's not in-game in Sonic Adventure, but it's in-game here and I love it. Oh, it's so good. Emerald Coast's music is one of my favourites of all time. And fittingly, Act 2's Emerald Coast rendition is from the second Emerald Coast track, Sonic Adventure. I prefer the first track a little bit more to the second track in the original and here, but they're both great. They are both fantastic. I'm stalling while it loads. Go! Nope. Alright. So this game was made by Dimps, so I think as we get further on we're probably going to see a bit more of the sort of Dimps stuff. Bottomless pits and all that. Not sure if we're quite there yet, but this is definitely going to get more from here than in the first few levels. Ah, missed the upper route. I realised a fraction of a second too late. Oh, ran out of boost. Up. Ow. That always happens. That's a bit of a gotcha. That's a pit that I just jumped over. If I remember right. Again, I think I died to that one a lot as well. The Orca Chase is a bit more, well, there's a lot more automated here though. Yeah, it's had to do a quick time event to get away from it. And by quick time event, I mean just press B a few times. You know, I remember when this game came out, it was nice to play the Sonic Heroes special stages where it wasn't a slippery mess. Because I think the Sonic Heroes special stages are pretty good. They're pretty good conceptually. It's just that in Sonic Heroes they're a mess because they're slippery and awful, and just it's really hard to actually get the emerald properly. But yeah, here, I mean, you could say they're almost too easy here. Potentially, at least for the early ones. Yeah, forgot that jumping disables, like, stops your boost in this, so don't know if this is going to be an S rank. Also, the remix of the special stage bonus challenge theme from Heroes is very much appreciated. Although, yeah, this music isn't the music you would be getting Chaos Emeralds to in the original Heroes. This is like the Act 1 special stages that don't give you an emerald. But yeah, I'd say it's probably the more iconic of the two special stage themes in Heroes, so... Yeah, the remix here is great. Oh, there's still an S rank. Cool. I don't know. Just felt like it, I guess. Hey Sam, no worries. No worries at all. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if you remember Sonic Colors on the DS, where I had like the orbs in that, and then like the half pipe. Maybe when they were making that, they were like, maybe them to like, kind of like the Sonic Heroes special stage. Hey, let's do that for Generations 3DS or something. I don't know. Maybe it was just quicker and easier to develop. I don't know. Like I said, they didn't have much time to make this game, supposedly. Right, on to Radical Highway. So Generations 3DS overall, I'd say soundtrack is still pretty great. Like, pretty much mostly on par with the console game. Radical Highway Act 1 is no exception. Act 2, well, we'll see. Although I think Radical Highway Act 1 is probably where the level design's at its worst. Zavok. Joe, Zavok didn't exist yet. This is like 2 years before Zavok existed. Yeah, I love this remix of Radical Highway. That said, my favourite version of Radical Highway's music might be the Doom Zone remixes in Shadow Generations. Like where you get sent to Radical Highway in the levels. I love that remix, or that set of remixes. Yeah, there's stretches in this level where it just kind of feels like you're just going forwards and doing nothing. Should have hit that boost pad. Yeah, it's like, it's just running forwards. I have got the 3DS emulation running well. Poor Ben can't talk about his favourite franchise without the conversation being made to be about a mediocre character. So yeah, for those who have missed it, yes, 3DS emulation has come along in a pretty fun way where you can connect a modded 3DS to the emulator and play your legitimate cartridges and download the games. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's this stream. Anyways, it should be back, yeah. As Joe has said in chat, I am Vavk. Ah, gold beetles are still annoying here. Ah, it's not your fault. My internet just hates me, I think. It's because I stream on Wi-Fi. It's like, I know you shouldn't, but realistically, I don't have a good way of. Realistically, I don't have a good way of using Ethernet up here. Oh no, oh no, I've fallen to the bottom path. The bottom path's really slow in this level. Oh. It's because I'm like upstairs away from the router. Oh. Ugh. This is the bottomless pit. There's a sign that shows it, and also just I know this from experience. So yeah, this isn't my favourite level in the game. I love the music in this act, but level design, it's a lot of straight lines. So, yeah. Now, I can't remember. Also, it doesn't help, as well as being upstairs and away from the router, my door is closed to, you know, help with noise and whatnot. So that doesn't help either. It's a Mario Kart World in between track. Your favourite is Green Hill. I don't know what my favourite level in this game in particular is. I don't know, it might be one of the ones off, one of the later ones, actually. Anyways, Radical Highway Act 2. So, music-wise, it's been pretty good so far. Radical Highway Act 2's music is divisive, we'll see that. It's often gotten called toilet noises or fart noises by Sonic fans. Oh, wrong button. The bottom part in this level's not great either. No, no, that's not where I want to go. I will say I didn't say I hate this track, but I do certainly see why why it is one of the less liked tracks in the game. Oh, come on! This fell on me from nowhere. Which means it's pretty accurate to Sonic Adventure 2. Yes, that I had forgotten what this level was like. Now I remember. It's yeah, it's the gun robots just like falling on you out of nowhere, and you can't react to it. Music reminds me of the arcade/scam machines at the seaside. Oh, come on. Oh. Somehow I didn't get hit there. Oh, I doubt this will ever get ported. I think the only way this would ever get ported is if like a future future Nintendo system ever has like 3DS emulation, and even then obviously that would require Sega to cooperate. You at least get to do the like grinding on the like, you know, the not Golden Gate Bridge here though. Uh oh. Okay, I didn't die. Oh, something's going off the path in a Dimps game can mean death. So that was a bit risky of me. But I played plenty of Dimps Sonic games, and I love several. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like they consider the console version canonical, and oh, death. Yeah, they consider the console version canonical, and then the handheld versions just get left to be, you know, remembered only by those who played them originally. Same thing happened with Colors when that got remastered, or demastered, depending on who you ask. No. Sega's like not like Sega's annoying like launch like so annoying like different editions of games. That's more of a launch thing than a later down the road thing. But look, I'm probably gonna end up paying that full price of the digital deluxe Sonic Racing Cross Worlds because I'm not good with money apparently when it comes to video games. You know. You know, apparently I spend money on games. Where? Hold on, where? Did I leave it downstairs? Bring it back up here. I must have left it down. I can't see it up here. I must have left it downstairs. I was going to be like, case in point, holds up copy of Gex I bought yesterday, but I must have left that downstairs. I can't see it in my room here. This is really struggling to load the cutscene, eh? Yeah, there's the time meter again. And there he goes again.
Oh yeah.
That line's taken from the console game. Yeah, where? I must have left my copy of Gex downstairs. I don't see it up here. If DK had the deluxe version with extra costumes, you'd probably sink into that, so you can't judge. Alright, special stage time. I mean, I suppose at least the digital deluxe for Racing Cross Worlds, like, that is, like, it's got, you know, characters and stages, so, like, proper characters and stages, not just skins, at least, so. Yeah, it is. Oh. Well, this isn't going to be an S rank. It is weird that Classic Sonic doesn't talk, but then Classic Tails does. Like, have everyone talk or no one, you know? I suppose by the time we get to like Sonic Superstars, you know, that's what Classic Sonic stuff. Like, everyone's back to not talking. So. Yeah, it was always a bit weird, even, you know, in the console version too. Oh yeah, I was an A rank, yeah. Ah, oh well. Doesn't really matter, I'm not going for ranks anyway. Alright, boss gate time. Shadow. Hold on, the picture of Shadow here, that was like an in-game character model. That's why Metal Sonic used his like key art for the game and not his character model. For his like thing. Yeah, we still got the remix of For True Story from the console game. As all the rival fights get their original music, even if they are just races. No. You know, I'm gonna restart this.
Here goes.
I mean, I think I know there's like I know people have obviously talked about that. I don't know whether it was like an actual like thing that was considered or whether it was just like a wishful thinking kind of thing from the fans. I can't remember. Oh, I should have jumped over this one as well. But not that one. These races like can sometimes be a bit harder than the I don't know if this way is longer or shorter. I'll try this way. Ah, come on. I need to use my boost wisely in this. Ow. Oh, that was a red herring. The strings there. Alright. Boost there. There we go. Hey, I'm happy with that. Right, so our second different boss is Bio Lizard. So in console game we fought Perfect Chaos. Here we find the Bio Lizard. So much like Radical Highway, Bio Lizard was in Generations the whole time. Now this fight's much closer to the original. It's basically a 2D adaptation of the original fight, whereas the Shadow Generations version goes off in its own sort of direction for it. But I'd say this is a pretty good adaptation of the original fight. Again, it's easier, but you know, it's a mid-game boss here. It's not a penultimate boss, so I think it works. Also with this remix, you can actually hear the lyrics a bit easier as well, which is nice. Bio Lizard's battle theme is great. Yeah, supporting me is a great boss fight theme. The original Bio Lizard fight, I'm a bit like sort of on. It gets a bit frustrating towards the end for me personally, but and I don't like having to use the somersault in Adventure 2. But the overall theming and aesthetics of the Bio-Lizard fight are great. And I think the slide from modern Sonic is a much more elegant thing than sort of sliding and crouching from modern Sonic is much more elegant than the somersault from Adventure 2. But I don't like the somersault in Sonic Adventure 2. I think it's a bad move. I think they should have designed the game without it. Yeah, that's neither here nor there though, because we're not playing Adventure 2 right now. I like how you can see the Emerald Altar as well at the back. Alright, here we go. I think, yep. Here we go, start the phase of using these. Come on. But just how much more streamlined the Shadow Generations version of this was, like in comparison to earlier versions of the Bio-Lizard. You have a lot more attacks to evade here. As in succession, not at once. It's more of a wait. It feels like more of a waiting game. Yeah. That section sometimes messes me up as well, where they're like fading in and out of those things. My final hit time. Yeah, this bit's pretty different from the original. You just have to guide Sonic up this. It's not like a sort of barrage of things coming at you like in the original, which always, every time in the original, it like gets me and I like have to start the boss over. So I approve of that change there. Is that an S rank? Yeah, S rank. Does this battle in Shadow Journey still take place in Bio-Lizard's timeline? You know what? I don't know. Because obviously in Shadow Generations, Mephiles was aware of the fact that, like, you know, he was aware of his previous defeat and the fact that, you know, in Generations, like, the whole space-time continuum is all in, like, is, you know, kind of in a weird limbo because of the Time Eater. You did not fight him before. Well, you sort of did.
You did it, Sonic!
But you didn't fight him like that. You watched Shadow fight him. You only fought him once he shoved the space colony up its, you know.
Whoa!
There goes the Time Eater again. You're just going to try and get the Emerald and fail.
What?
Yep.
Ah! Ah!
Yeah, Monster sure didn't like that Emerald.
All right! Be careful, Sonic! You did it, Sonic!
Oh, finally I can stomp.
Oh yeah!
Hey there!
I don't know why they made that an unlockable ability in this game. it's just kind of funny because like I'm trying to think. He said he made the shoes lighter in Unleashed. Wasn't it like the shoes, like the Stomp upgrade shoes, and that were like meant to look heavy or something? We don't have the budget to animate this cutscene. Let's just show a PNG of time each and call it a day. Yeah, this game is pretty obviously low budget. I think all things considered, they did a pretty good job though, given they had very little budget and time to make this game. Anyways, our last two levels are Water Palace from Sonic Rush and Tropical Resort from Sonic Colors. This is that 1.5 sort of time exception to, yeah, Sonic Generations 3DS doesn't really reference the handheld history of the series. But we get to the final bit of the game and they were like, oh, we can actually reference handheld games. But this is also an instance where the budget limitations show. Water Palace Act 1 music is not a new remix. This is the album version of Water Palace. Like Sonic Rush's original like official soundtrack like release had like a set of like redone sort of tracks in higher quality, specifically for the album, and that's what Water Palace Act 1 here uses. Tim's were like, only our handheld games count. Well, no, if that were the case, then the advanced games would be here as well. Because they made the advanced games. Yeah, all the mechanics are here, though. You know, the original enemies and all that as well. Let's get an air bubble so I don't drown. No. There we go. Yeah, I mean, although this music doesn't technically remix, it's still great because it's Sonic Rush music. Sonic Rush music is so good. It's one of my favorite soundtracks in this series. Oh, I managed to catch the mute button. Oh. Oh, this is. Oh, yeah, I forgot about this. Yeah, that's a new mechanic. I'd say they chose a pretty decent, pretty decent level to represent Rush. I think if I were picking a level to represent Rush, I'd probably pick Altitude Limit. But Water Palace is a good one to use as well. Oh, I forgot about this as well. You know, this big enemy in the back, causing trouble for us. Yeah, forgot about that. That's who. Oh, come on. Maybe I'll wait for it to... Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's something new they added to this version. Yeah, I feel like Dims did pretty well when they adapted their own levels here. Oh, oops. And it's a shame that Sonic Rush's soundtrack is like not on Spotify. Oh. It's such a good soundtrack. Rights issues and all that. Right, let's not fall down again. And of course that's the end of the level. Yeah. Dimps do like to do that. At least it's not a bottomless pit right at the end of the level, like they do in Sonic 4 a lot, and in Sonic Rush. I think I wanted a bit of a rant in the Sonic 4 episode 1 stream about Dimps putting like a one-hit kill challenge at the end of levels. They did do that a fair bit in Sonic 4. Either one hit kill or bottomless pit challenges. Oh, the din's repeating on me. Hey, for Act 2 though, we do get a music remix, and it plays a bit more like the original Water Palace because you know we get to boost. So yeah, I can stomp now. Oh, I felt naked without that move. It's kind of thing of like, I don't think about how much I use it until I like don't have it. Ah. Do you wish it worked like in the 3D Boost games though, where you just press the right-hand face button? Rather than having to press down and jump. But whatever. My muscle memory still got it. I guess. Oh my. Nope. Okay. We'll just go this way then. I tried like 4 times to get up there. We'll just go this way. Wait, no, that's a trap. Oh. Ah! Thanks, Dimps. You know, I'll poke fun at Dimps, but I do like quite a few of their Sonic games. Some of the design decisions they made in their games can be a bit funny, but a bit iffy. But overall, I think I like their output more than quite a few Sonic fans do. Probably helps that I grew up on the DS games, so. And the Advance one. Right, special stage number 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Of course there's 6, there's 7, and this is the penultimate one. Duh. I was trying to think, like, do they have the last emerald in the story, like in the console game? But no, it's special stage. It's also special stages. Right. I do like how they say Emerald Challenge, like, which is itself a callback to Sonic Heroes, because that's what they called the actual Chaos Emerald special stages in Heroes, or at least on the soundtrack they did. So, little very subtle callback, that one. Ow. I suppose one downside to this being the 3DS, well, being sort of the way this is, compared to Heroes, is it's purely digital control. It's D-pad, even if you use the circle pad. It basically acts like a D-pad in this game. So you can't sort of have super fine control, I suppose. You just have to tap the D-pad really quickly if you want to make a minute adjustment. but you know, it doesn't really matter all too much. Rank A, okay. I did get hit that one time. If I remember, you pretty much had to play perfectly to get the emeralds. Which perfect play is apparently harder than I remember. But visibility is does feel worse there than it does. It does feel worse blown up like this. Visibility is fine on the 3DS screen, or if I was, I don't know, doing a higher internal resolution, but you know, I won't go on that spiel again. Anyways, Tropical Resort from Sonic Colors. So I said 1.5 earlier. So Tropical Resort Act 1 here feels pretty much based on the DS version of Sonic Colors. Act 2 feels like it takes more from the Wii though. And musically, yeah, this is just Tropical Resort Act 1 from Sonic Colors on the Wii. It's not remixed at all. Like, it's not even like, oh, it's like the album version, it's just not remixed at all. But yeah, level design wise though, yes, Tropical Resort, yeah, feels more like the DS version. And you got the Burst Wisp from the DS as well. Pretty much acting exactly like it did on the DS. Got the zipline things again from the DS. Yeah, and the visual design of Tropical Resort Act 1 here, again, very much reminiscent of the DS version. You know, I think it's cool that you know, they were able to base it on the DS version. Ouch. I guess they were sort of like, you know, 2D Tropical Resort, well, we've already done this, you know, like last year. You know, we'll do it again, kind of thing. But it's nice because it makes the 3DS generations, you know, represent handheld a little bit more. Not fully, but a bit more. Oh. These totem pole things are, again, from the DS version. Oh boy. No, come on. There we go. That was the bottomless pit down there, I didn't want to fall down there. At least there's no like red rings or anything to find. Actually, yeah, there's no red rings or anything in this game. Also, they got introduced in Colors from the DS and the Wii, and console generations brought them back, but generations on 3DS doesn't. No red rings to find in these levels. You don't have to worry about collectibles here at all. They do have another thing. Like another sort of thing that lets you come back for more that isn't just replaying the levels for a better rank. But if we have time, we can quickly show off a bit of that later. Ah, come on. This is a neat set piece, riding these fireworks. I think this is original to this. You can use the Burst Wisp, and these rockets will give you quite the boost if you hit them with the Burst Wisp, but... Uh oh. There you go, like that. I totally meant to do that. Uh oh. Yeah. Let's take the safe route. That's going to affect my rank at the end. Oh well. Doesn't matter. Nearly made it to the top as well. Hey, at least I didn't die. Yeah, beat. I mean, my rank was already going to not be great because I took a lot of bottom paths there. I fell down to the bottom path a lot. Right, and on to Act 2, final main level of the game. Yeah, there's only 7 levels rather than 9. Again, small budget, short time frame to make the game, so less levels. But at least the game isn't bloated, you know? Like, no level really feels like padding in this game. Not that it did in Generations either, but, you know. Yeah, the game doesn't feel bloated. It doesn't feel like it, you know, wastes your time. I'm thinking of a difference on the game on the 3DS. Yeah, we do have a music remix for Act 2. And yeah, it's overall more based on the Wii version. For one thing, we get to use the Cyan Wisp, the Cyan Laser Wisp. The emulator did not like loading that, wow. Although the controls for the Laser Wisp feel more like the DS version. No, I could have gotten that grind rail. Oh well. Oi! Rude. Uh oh. Whoops. Here we go, now that it's done it once, what happened there? I mean, okay, I know what happened there. I pressed boost too late and I boosted off the, Oh, whoops. I boosted off the, wrong thing. Ah. Top path. Completely missed that earlier. Yeah, like the sort of laser like direction, the sort of aiming direction thing. That's more like the DS version. I know it's like seems like a pointless detail, but I don't know. Yeah, big Sonic fan, I noticed the pointless details. You know, if I'm not going to notice the pointless details, who will, you know? Oh, I missed the rainbow rings, though. Oh well. Alright, don't fall down this time. I'm trying to think if I played this before I played the Wii version. I can't remember. Do like the remix here. And you know what? Even though it's like, you know, technically the handheld version, it's more like fast-paced than the Wii version still. You know? Sonic Colors on the Wii, like, for the most part, is not a particularly fast-paced game. I jumped way too early there. Wow. Can you believe I did that? I mean, I can. It happened on screen. There we go. That was my fault that I died there. Not the game's fault at all. That was completely my fault. Right, one more special stage to go. I think we've probably got a cutscene first, though. Some dog is either, you know, sounds a bit unhappy from here anyway. Hello. Wanna load the cutscene? It comes with the territory. It's streaming the game data from my 3DS up to my laptop, so yeah, so there's probably a lot of Wi-Fi interference going on. You know, this, the stream, phone, my other phone for doing my stream deck, other Wi-Fi devices in the house, other Wi-Fi networks, in neighboring houses. You say pretty soon, Sonic. Like, Classic Sonic here's got to go through the rest of the Classic Sonic series, Adventure 1 and 2, and Heroes, and 06, before you can get the boost. Right, last special stage. I am quite thankful that by this point in time, Dimps had, stopped making their final special stages so impossible. They kind of backtracked a bit on that though with Sonic Lost World on 3DS. That final special stage was not good. Get seen after the most traumatizing adventures of your life. Well, I think part of Lost World 3DS' special stage being, final special stage being hard is, the control method that you have to endure. Which is part of why I'm really unsure as to when I could ever stream Lost World 3DS. So those special stages, it'd be really hard to control them. Ah. No. Ah. Did I miss all of those ones that are bouncing around? I think I did. A rank. Well, I didn't play perfectly enough. I mean, I didn't play perfectly. I got hit twice. Right, boss time, or boss gate time. First up, rival race against Silver. And we're just going to be racing him in Tropical Resort because, it's like a close enough kind of thing. I mean, Silver was in colours on DS. So. I remember this one, back when I was S-ranking all the stages. This one took me a lot of tries to S-rank. Ow! Rude. Oh, you can just teleport in front of me, that's cheating. Come on. Yeah, okay, beat him first try. Nice. It's not going to be an S rank though. No. S ranking that took a lot of tries when I first when I was S ranking these, which wasn't when I first played it. It was several times later. Yeah. And yeah, our boss for the modern era is randomly the Egg Emperor from Sonic Heroes. Sonic Heroes isn't represented in this game, and it's also not part of this era as defined by the console version of Sonic Generations. This is a weird choice. Oh, because we're fighting it just as regular old modern Sonic, we're not going to be cheesing it by, using a flight character. Pay attention to how he swings. Alright. He should, yep, charge that, and then I can only attack him. There we go. Managed to hit him there. And then, yeah, we get taken back out to the outside ring. See, it takes elements from the original fight, but overall it's a fairly original fight, I'd say. From what I remember of the original. Certainly a little less messy than the original. The original fight is a bit of a mess, really. Right. Come on. Oh, why have you gone for that one? Rude. I can't remember what the last hit is. I think I just gotta run away from this attack. There we go. Yeah, pretty simple boss, really. Takes elements from the original, but overall plays a bit different. But yeah, it's a cleaner boss overall, I'd say. Given in the original, the optimal strategy was level up your flight character, and then when you got to the bit where he stops in the middle, you just hover above him and then just spam the attack button. That was the optimal strategy for the Egg Emperor in Heroes. Yeah, that was a riveting final final boss of each campaign.
How could this be?
We beat this every time. It's like it's our job or something.
Huh?
Yep, that line's in the console game.
Hey there.
And there's the time meter. Let's go and scoop Eggman up again. Yep.
Aw.
And, yep, we pretty much just got the final boss to go. We don't have to do any weird, like, because there's no actual hub world, we don't have to do any weird, like, putting Chaos Emeralds in gear shenanigans. We just go to the time meter boss. And of course it's cutscene time. Yeah.
Why, hello, everyone.
So it's like, you see that cutscene, there's at least in the original generations, between the cutscene of you beating the Egg Dragoon and the reveal of the Time Eater, when you get to it, there's a bit of downtime. Here, there's like no downtime at all. Unless you somehow didn't get the Chaos Emeralds on the way. Also, using this music for this cutscene makes it so much less dramatic.
Oh-ho!
The dialogue here is pretty much word for word the original, though, from what I recall of the original.
Very good.
I don't think it called the Time Eater out by name, actually. But yeah, found the Time Eater out of Sonic Colors, erases previous defeats, and works with himself because he's the only person as smart as himself, because he's egotistical. Yeah. And you also don't get the scene of all Sonic's friends cheering him on because they're not in this game.
Sonic!
Dang it!
So yeah, they're fighting. Just you know, take my word for it. Yeah, they're fighting.
What?
I thought Tails intervenes here. I mean, he doesn't really do anything, but yeah, I forgot they did that in this version. I mean, it's like the tiniest little change.
How could this be?
Actually, no, it's a bigger change because in the original they get squashed by the Time Eater, and then they get cheered on by their friends and the Chaos Emeralds. You know, they sort of like come to and with the Chaos Emeralds. Whereas here they just sort of use them with their own volition.
Looks like fun. Let's do this.
Oh, yeah. Are they gonna say the line?
Here goes.
Oh, they didn't say the line! Time to scramble some Eggman, Supersonic style. And Supersonic style is very familiar to any Smash Bros. Player in Smash 4 Ultimate. And now just remember that the Brawl, the line in Brawl was, "Now I'll show you." Anyways, the Time Eater. So, you might remember how much I was complaining about the Time Eater boss fight in the original generations. Both playthroughs, probably. Certainly in the most recent playthrough. It's so much better here. The Time Eater is an absolute mess of boss fight in the original, in the HD generations. Here, you switch turns between classic and modern after each hit. Everything's just so much, it's not a mess. Everything's clearer what you're supposed to do. You've got clear sort of mechanics. Tony attacking, please. This is actually a fun boss fight. Like, in most ways, Generations on 3DS is, not as good as the HD game, but it's decent in its own right. In this respect, this is so much better. Now, this boss does do a bit of the thing I don't like of, you just have to wait and dodge its attacks until you get your chance to attack, but honestly, I take that over whatever the HD Time Eater was supposed to be. Like, I'll take a waiting game boss fight over the HD Time Eater. HD Time Eater is a travesty of a boss fight. Genuinely awful. Generations on 3DS ends on a much better note. Yeah, he's got this like dodge move with modern Sonic to dodge the hand attack. Rather than the hand attack just being kind of a being like a very random feeling attack. Also, you can actually see where the rings are to pick them up as well. Like, I feel like Dimps kind of go back and forth on bosses. Sometimes Dimps can make really bad bosses, but sometimes Dimps make very respectable bosses. And I'd say this ranks pretty decently well. Again, as I said, it's a much more positive note to end the game on than the original Time Eater fight. Also, yeah, the big laser is actually something you have to actually put effort into dodging. Whereas in the original Time Eater fight, you would just press the swap button and then the laser would just be nowhere near you. This bit looks decent in 3D. Ouch. You know what? I don't know if I've ever seen what happens when you get hit by the orb thingies, so... I'm very out of practice with this boss fight. Right, so I did a test playthrough of this boss specifically recently, and this section really messed me up. I used to do this section no problem when I was younger, but this section really messed me up on my test run the other day, or the other week, or whenever it was. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like, I used to do this no problem. Maybe it's the 3D screen, because I did do my test run on the emulator, so maybe the 3D screen helps with that section. I don't know. Oh, he's got 2 more hits to go, and well, the last hit, spoiler, is a bit of a freebie, so we've only really got 1 more section to go through. Ah. Right, more lasers to dodge. Not too difficult though. Rings, please. Alright, gonna shoot another one. So, head up. I don't think you have to be this close to him, but I don't know. I like dodging it like that. This, like, grabby attack is very easy to dodge, just hold right. If you, like, basically just get right up in his face, you'll never be able to hit you. Also, as well as playing better, you don't have your friends telling you every 2 seconds that that might be a homing shot. As well. So yeah, here, just hold boost. Nothing they can throw at you will hit you here. And that's the Time Eater. An actual boss fight and not whatever the original was. Yeah, I'd say HD Generations overall has better bosses for the main bosses, but this Time Eater fight is so much better. Like, I can actually fight it just for fun rather than it being the last like being a burden, being like just, oh, I've got to do this to finish this run of Sonic Generations, you know. Like, I can actually play that fight for fun. And here we are, back at the party.
Hey.
Of course, still no one's here yet. That was a much shorter cutscene. Oh no, we're still here.
Sonic!
I do like this little piece here for the cutscene. It's in the original game as well. It's in the HD version. It's a nice little emotional bit of music to end the game on. And yeah, saying about, like, you know, having more time. Yeah, that's really especially sort of with this version. Enjoy your future. It's gonna be great. Again, memed online in the original. But that is Sonic Generations on 3DS. So, yeah. Oh, music. So, yeah. Overall, yeah, it's nothing, like, groundbreaking for a Sonic game. It's a perfectly average Sonic game, I'd say. Like, very, like, you know, not like an essential one, like, oh, you know, if you've got a 3DS, you have to go out and play this really great game. But it's not bad either. Like I said, I think it's probably my favourite of the 3DS Sonic games, which isn't really saying much, given the other 3DS Sonic games are Lost World on 3DS, which starts out promising but nosedives in quality hard. Like, I'll make fun of the Wii U version, I'll poke fun at the Wii U version, but I do overall like the game. You know, and you know, it has a lot of merits. 3DS Lost World, not so much. One day maybe I'll be able to go into it on stream. And then the other two Sonic games on 3DS are the Boom games, Shatter Crystal and Fire and Ice. I've not played enough of them really to have much of an opinion on them, but I know general opinion is, you know, the Shatter Crystal is very bloated because they make you do these sort of Metroidvania-ish Sonic levels, and you have to collect everything to like just get through the game. And Fire and Ice is meant to be quite a big improvement on them, but you know, they're both still the Sonic Boom 3DS games, like quality-wise, just overall, like not quite up there with I'd say this. Like, this is just a very sort of solid Sonic game. It does just fundamental stuff. Fundamental, very standard Sonic stuff, but you know, it doesn't try to sort of have any weird mechanics, which is, I think, a benefit to it. But yeah, I mean, as well, also, this came out in 2011, like, end of 2011, you know, a little bit after the console game came out, I think, either same time or very shortly after. So, you know, at the time of release as well, like, there wasn't much to play on the 3DS. I mean, 3D Land and Mario Kart 7, I think, had either just come out or, like, about to come out, or one had come out and the other hadn't, something like that. So yeah, there really wasn't much to play on the 3DS yet. So this was, at time of release, yeah, a pretty good thing to have for your 3DS, I'd say. Because, I mean, first year of the 3DS, I mean, what, launch titles? I mean, first-party launch titles were just Nintendogs plus Cats and, like, what, Steel Diver? Sub Wars or whatever it was? Like, Star Fox 64 3D, Ocarina of Time 3D didn't come till later in 2011, and the Mario games didn't come till the end of 2011. I think most people's top launch game for the 3DS was Street Fighter 4. Which I've only ever played Street Fighter 4 via download play with Joe, actually. Oh, Pilot Wings Resort, that was a launch title as well. I completely forgot that game existed. Okay, that was probably the best launch game from Nintendo. I completely forgot that existed. I never had it. As I said before, my launch title was Rayman 3D. Not the best decision, but hey, we all live with our mistakes. But yeah. But yeah, I think general audience like perception though, I think the sort of the launch title most people like that had like a lot of eyes on it was Street Fighter 4, which I hear is meant to be a really good version of Street. Like, it's really impressive that they got Street Fighter 4 on the 3DS, and especially running at 60 FPS if you turn 3D off. That said, when it comes to sort of early 3DS days, fighting games, you know, i.e. not Smash Brothers, yeah, I'm gonna stick with Dead or Alive Dimensions. That's really solid. Also, you don't have to turn 3D off in the options menu to get 60 FPS in that game. You can just turn the 3D slider down. In Street Fighter, you have to like turn 3D off in the menu rather than just turning 3D off. It's a bit of a weird thing. I don't know how Tekken fared. I know there was a 3DS Tekken game early in the 3DS's life, but I don't know how. No one really talks about 3DS Tekken. I'm sure Dead or Alive looks great in 3D. Well, I turned 3D off because then I can play at 60 FPS. I don't want to play a fighting game at 30. You know? It's like the one game, well, one of the very few games I turned the 3D off in. It's like, it's a fighting game, I want to play it at 60. I say as probably the PlayStation Saturn versions of that game probably... Well, actually, I don't know, maybe they don't play at 30. I think Virtua Fighter 2 on Saturn was 60 FPS, so... Hey, if Sega could get a Model 2 fighting game at 60 FPS on Saturn, you know, Tecmo could have perhaps as well. Don't know, PlayStation 1 though. My Namco got Tekken at 60 FPS on PS1, at least the later Tekkens on the PS1. Why am I talking about fighting games? This is Sonic. I mean, Sonic as a fighting game, not that it's relevant to this. Do they have screenshots of the DS version here, I wonder? Probably not. Probably just the console version. Oh no! DS. There's DS. Colours. Whoever was recording that had 84 lives and all the red rings in that level. If I remember right, these images are all just 2D images. I don't think any of them are... Like, I don't think any of the ones from Generations 3D, like, here are, like, in 3D at all. And when it's blown up like this, you can see how they just, like, squashed down those screenshots with the 3DS screen. It's a bit weird how this game ends on the final level, because out of the 7 levels here, like 3 or 4 of them are all first levels, if you count Mushroom Hill as the first level of Sonic and Knuckles. Your Green Hill, you got Mushroom Hill, your Emerald Coast, Radical Highway is Shadow's first level in Adventure 2, if you want to count that, and you got Tropical Resort, and well, Water Palace is only level 2 in Sonic Rush. And it's the only time that Sonic's friends show up in, well, at least the story anyway. But yeah, that's Generations 3DS. I've already summed up my thoughts. I summed up my thoughts and then I went on a fighting game tangent briefly. But this cutscene's still here. Are you sure you saw a door over here?
How could this be?
You were the one who said you saw a door over here. I know it was one of us. Shut up and keep looking. I think this is... yeah. What time is it? Same time as when you asked it before. Oh, no, that is a slight... That is not one-to-one. He said earlier in the console game. And the same time as when you asked later. They really love this track, don't they? Yeah, I think this is used in the console version in one cutscene. Well, in the original, this cutscene doesn't have music. It's just dialogue. It'll be your plan pretty soon. He says a different thing there. He said, why would they try this stupid plan twice? Whereas, otherwise, he says, I'm going to dedicate the rest of my life to forgetting it. Do we ever win? This is different. Times when we come close. So, no. Yeah, Sonic Riders. He wins in that. He technically beats Sonic there. He wins like a rug. Not that I've been Sonic Riders, but I know the story, roughly. I know that he beats Sonic at the end of Sonic Riders. What time is it? And the ad's finished as well. Lovely timing. Do I have time to quickly show off 1 or 2 things? Oh, I just have to go and remind myself to, he wins in forces. I mean, I suppose at the start, yeah. I mean, that hadn't happened yet. Go to missions. Are they still done because I only deleted story data? Hey, yeah. So yeah, so there's no red rings to collect in this game, but there are 100 missions. To do that you unlock with play coins and I believe Street Pass. So yeah, they're all pretty standard missions. Like, you know, there's clear it without losing a life, collect rings, you know, clear it in a certain time. Or we got a timer going down. You know, defeat enemies. The most annoying one, the most annoying type of mission, stealth attack. I will show off the stealth attack. You gotta clear the level, or you gotta clear the mission without beating any enemies. I'll press the wrong button. And especially because you got a homing attack, it's very easy to just, you know, accidentally go. Oh yeah, and yeah, the missions are where you get your collectibles from, like your sort of stuff for the museum part, the gallery. So yeah, it's very easy to accidentally just go on autopilot and defeat enemies. So yeah, these missions can like die. Please. Oh. See? Yeah, I'm not allowed to defeat any enemies whatsoever. Oh, bottom path. I'm not going to beat my best time, I don't think. Oh, invincibility, that's bad. So if I run into an enemy, I'll destroy it. So you aren't ranked in these missions, I don't believe. But, ooh, that was close. But yeah, I think it's just by Street Pass, you can see other people's like record, like sort of their time, their best time. Yeah. I think those were just Street Pass. I don't think they were online related. Yeah, items, defeat, and then you got special trials, which are like a more sort of different thing. Like perfection, don't take damage. Clear 15 drop targets. And then there were boss fight missions as well, if I remember right. Well, there's one at the end anyway. Yeah, one ring boss, yeah, defeat the boss with one ring and then defeat the Time Eater within 9 minutes. Which basically means defeat the Time Eater normally, because it doesn't take that long anyway. But yeah, the missions, you know, they're a nice little added bonus. They're how you get the gallery content. Which, when it loads, I will, yeah. So you can watch the cutscenes, whatever. You got the unlockable music. This is all the same unlockable music from the console version, I think, for the most part. Maybe some of it's a bit different, actually. But it's pretty similar, if not the same. Is that what I have heard quite some of these songs? Oh. Yeah. Oh, this is the album version of Villanova. Okay. Okay, there's Sonic Rush songs there with the album versions. Yeah, I think most of these are... Ah, there is Door into Summer, though, from Chaotix. This wasn't in the console version. And this... Well, okay, there was a Door into Summer remix, but this is a different remix to what's in the console version. But the Door into Summer remix is for the gallery for the gallery area in the console version. Is this just for this? I can't remember. Is this in the console version? I can't remember. This is from Sonic Battle. The Sonic Advance remixes here, I think, are from, I think they're in the thing. But this is where I first, I think, heard these. Or these are like the first place I could easily listen to these songs. I mean, you got Splash Hill from Sonic 4, because of course. You got bonus art as well. I think these are... Oh, that's Sonic Advance 3. It's also Sonic Advance 3. Sonic Rush. Okay, so some of these art, I've not looked at these in years. Okay, so these seem to be to do with handheld games. Yeah, that's for the DS version of Colors. Yeah. Okay, and then we're we're up to standard artwork. So 1991, Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic CD, Sonic 3, 1995, Sonic Drift 2. I mean, I guess it was either that or Sonic Labyrinth. 1996, Sonic 3D, the American artwork. Mind you, having a close-up of the PAL artwork would be a bit horrifying. 97, Sonic R. 98, Sonic Adventure. 99, different art for Sonic Adventure. They could have done Pocket Adventure. 2000, Sonic Shuffle. 2001, Adventure 2. 2002, Advance 2. 2003, Heroes. 2004, Advance 3. 2005, Rush. I like how they did Rush instead of Shadow, but I suppose, handheld. Dimps. Dimps bias, I suppose. 2006 illustration. Again, funny. They did Riders and not 06. 07, Secret Rings. 08, Unleashed. 09, Black Knight. 2010, Colors. Oh yeah, these pictures of these figurines and this Sonic statue, these are in 3D actually. You can view them with the 3D slider. Obviously not on the emulator, at least not with my current setup. Yeah, these are all 3D images. And you can also look at at 3D models they made purely for the sake of having 3D models in a gallery. And this again, you can view them in stereoscopic 3D. So yeah, you have models of all the various characters: Sonic, Eggman, Tails, Amy, Metal Sonic, Knuckles, Big, which he wasn't showing up in a lot of games at this point in time. Shadow, Rouge, Cream and Cheese, Omega, Silver, Bourbon Cubot, Chaos Emeralds, and yeah, bosses as well from this game: Big Arm, Bio Lizard, Egg Emperor, and the Time Eater. Also, yeah, the Time Eater is only the top half of it. You don't because halfway through the fight in the console version, yeah, it sort of breaks apart, I think, and it's just this top half of it. It starts out like that on 3DS. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it. There's not really much else to show with Generations 3DS. There is a multiplayer mode. Yeah, the multiplayer mode is basically just a one-on-one race through any level. It was also online. I played it a bit online when the game was, when the game was current. It worked pretty decently, but yeah, it's one-on-one. I don't think there was any items or anything like that, but I can't remember. I think it was just a plain one-on-one race. But yeah. Just want to see if I do swap screens, what happens? Okay, so it looks like that. Oh, my webcam's died on me. Okay, that's good to know though. Oh, not single screen. Large screen. Is there a... F, and there's a keyboard shortcut for it as well. Hold on, let me see if I can unkill my webcam. Studio mode. Webcam. Got too many scenes. Webcam scene. Webcam. There we go. That's unkilled. My phone's not doing the thing. Alright, so yeah. I need to stop emulation so I can actually hear what I'm doing. So yeah, that was Generations on 3DS. I've already been through my thoughts on the game, so I don't need to do that. So, let's reiterate again. In 2 days, I am travelling. We all know this already. I'm staying with Ben for a little while, and we have some streams planned. I'm not going to say what some of them are, because as both me and Ben have said, we're keeping some of them secret. But Tuesday, we're playing Mario Kart World. We still haven't decided what mode we're playing, but probably something that we can let people join in on or whatever. It's Mario Kart. You know, we'll figure it out. It's Mario Kart. We're doing it because you know, I arrived on Tuesday. It'll be an easy one to set up. Wednesday. Wait, you're traveling? This is news to me. Yeah, didn't you know? Yeah. Wednesday, we got part 1 of our secret collab. I'm looking forward to it. Thursday, nothing. Yeah, Friday, nothing. Well, Thursday, I think Sam said you are planning to return from this Thursday on, I think you said. And then Saturday, I'm not streaming, but Ben is doing Hollow Knight. I'll be in chat, obviously, you know, again, unless he wants like a random heckler. I'll just like open the door and say something weird. No, I won't. I won't interrupt Hollow Knight, because obviously how Hollow Knight's going, you know, it's like one of those, you know, it's like an important one for Ben's channel, so, you know, I won't, you know, intrude on that. And then Sunday will be... Wow, my stomach made quite a noise there. And then Sunday will be part 2 of our secret collab. Wednesday will be on Ben's channel, Sunday will be on mine, because those are our stream days anyway, so yeah, one on Ben's, one on mine. We're going to have a better mic solution this year. We're not going to be both using headset mics. You know, I've got my Samsung Go mic, where I'll be travelling with this. Why I didn't think to bring this with me last year, I don't know. I know I wasn't using it last year, but I had it. I've had it for a while. I've had it since early days of the Breath of the Wild playthrough. I don't know why I didn't think to take it with me last year. It's a very small mic. It's designed for portability and travel. Like, portable USB microphone. I know I didn't think of that last year, but you know, on my streams we're going to use this. We're going to use Ben's Blue Yeti on his stream. Mainly using my mic on my streams rather than borrowing his mic, because my OBS settings are set for this mic, not for his. But that does leave the question of what is next for my solo streams once I'm back from travelling. So I don't know exactly which day this is going to be. Probably not the day I return home, because, you know, the Tuesday I return home, because unpacking when I get back home after having been away for a week, that's going to be more stuff, so might not be streaming then. And then on the Sunday the 20th, I have got a brass band thing in the afternoon, so obviously that'll depend on whether I'm back in time to set up stream and whether I'm, you know, sort of gonna have enough energy. So it'll probably either be the 20th if I feel like streaming after what I'm doing that day, but if not, then the 22nd will be when I return to solo streams. And what is it I've got planned? Well, so today's stream, as well as kind of being a belated Sonic Anniversary stream and also just being another Sonic game, was kind of a test. A test for 3DS emulation, not just for the emulation itself though. So you might have noticed, I waved it around a couple of times. So I said, the emulator thing, it lets you use your game cartridges. I was running this cartridge on my PC using, there's a homebrew app on 3DS that lets you connect and it loads it from your 3DS. As well as loading the game from the 3DS. It can use the 3DS as a controller. This includes buttons and the touchscreen. Sonic Generations doesn't use the touchscreen, but it does allow for touchscreen use. So, I would like to let you see something, and this is my announcement for what's next on my solo streams after I'm back from travelling.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Yep, that's right. It's finally time. Kid Icarus Uprising. I love this game. Ben loves this game. So many people, like, anyone who's played this game loves it, like, pretty much. It is iconic of the 3DS to me. I think of 3DS, I think of Kid Icarus Uprising. This is one of my favourite Nintendo games ever made. I've wanted to stream it for so long. I remember, if you remember, ages ago, I might have talked about, I got a setup with the Steam controller on Citra, using the touchpad as the touchscreen for that. But at the time, Kid Icarus emulation had some issues. Grind rails were invisible, and while it worked, it wasn't ideal. I had a quick test playthrough when I was like, when I learned that you can use the touchscreen when I was using that thing to play it, so I'd be playing it exactly as originally designed, the controller. So I did a quick test playthrough of a level with a grind rail, and it was visible. So I was like, it's time. But I did need to check, because the way that the emulator, sort of the thing works of streaming the game from the console to emulator, it obviously uses the network connection. I wanted to check that that didn't cause the stream to constantly drop out, because if that happened, I wouldn't want to play Kid Icarus Uprising like that. This game is too good. It does not deserve a stream filled with technical issues of constant connection dropouts. That's why I streamed Sonic Generations on 3DS, to test the setup for Kid Icarus Uprising. If today went badly, this right now I would have been saying like, oh, well, I was going to do Kid Icarus Uprising, but I won't, and this is why. Yeah, you've seen why. But I only have one disconnect, and I can chalk that up to standard, normal, whatever. So that's fine. If you know you're picking this up, I was picking this up, you suggested like let's start the stream. I don't know if I don't know if emulators can connect to 3DSs, and B, I think you'd have to like set it up through Pretendo. I don't think you can do like local multiplayer. I think you have to do it via internet on the emulator. So, plus I wanted this to be a surprise. I wanted it to be a surprise announcement. Like I wanted it to feel like it was coming out of nowhere, maybe. I might try to see if I can, because I think you can connect to Pretendo with emulators. So I might see if I can do that. If not, I could still show off Light vs Dark, because they do have you can play it versus bots. So I could still show it off actually. So I will say during the playthrough it is going to be a no spoilers in chat policy. I don't know who here hasn't had. Well, I know Ben's played it, but yeah, I don't know who apart from Ben who has or hasn't played the game. But if there is anyone who hasn't or doesn't know the story, I really would like what happens in the story to be a surprise, not to be spoiled in chat. So yeah, it's going to be a no spoilers in chat policy, like we do for other big story games. I'm so excited. Can finally stream Kid Icarus Uprising. Oh, I wanted to do this for so long. You got as far as Medusa. Okay. So yeah. So that's going to be happening afterwards, after back from Ben's. Yeah. Also, quick aside, I love that I have the big box for this. So it got the game kits inside, but also the 3DS stand. And I should have got them out, but I have loads of AR cards. Those are the original 3DS ones. So in the game case, those are Neopets cards. So in the original box, you got a little pack of cards. I have more than that. I've got this many, plus this. I've got a bunch of cards. The AR cards. Because, Sakurai wanted to use like as much of the 3DS as he could, I think. So there's an AR mode, like a little AR side mode in the game. I don't know. I doubt I'll be able to show that off though with the emulator. I doubt that can happen. So yeah, I don't know how long it'll take to stream the game. It's been a while since I've actually played through it, so I don't actually remember how long certain things take. I just had a thought. Are any of these spoilers? Should I have like checked before I showed them off? No, I don't think any of these ones I've got are spoilers, at least. Yeah, it's all mostly enemies and like standard enemies and powers and stuff. Side note. Yeah, I know how many chapters there are, but I can't remember how long they will take because it's been a while. As an aside, I'm never going to get to talk about this another time, I imagine, but anyone remember these? The original AR cards that you got with the 3DS. So I got the cardboard sleeve for them. I have 2 sets of these because of my new 3DS XL. It's slightly interesting selection because you got like obviously Mario there, but like Samus, like was she really mainstream at that point? I mean, I suppose Other M was like recent. Because like Pikmin hadn't had a new proper release since Pikmin 2 at this point. I know there were the Wii re-releases, but still. And then like Toon Link, like I mean, I suppose Skyward Sword wasn't out yet, was it? And then the generic, like the base one. So I suppose Spirit Tracks was after Twilight Princess, so I suppose Toon Link was the most recent Link, actually. Thinking about it. Where did I put the Kid Icarus cards there? So, yeah. Anyways, it's like 10:30 and I'm rambling, so, yeah, I should probably finish up. So yeah. To summarise, Mario Kart Tuesday, Secret Collab stuff throughout the week, and when I'm back home and I'm back to streaming, Kid Icarus Uprising. I'm so excited. Because I haven't played through the whole game like in a while, so I'm just excited to play through the game again. It's so good. It's so good. And I've got my big stylus somewhere, so I'll be using that to avoid hand cramps. Anyways, there's no one on my list there to do anything with, so yeah. We will just finish up. So, I've not working, so I'll do it on PC. So, as always, thank you for watching Willie Been here. Whole stream, part of the stream, chatted alert. It's always very appreciated. And yeah, I've really been through what's going on, so we'll just end it here. So, I'll see you guys on Tuesday for some Mario Kart.